Divine Masculine Aquarius. As you can see, I've already shuffled and laid out the cards, so we can go right into it. Do listen to both masculine and feminine readings for your sign, as well as your rising and moon signs, as there's always messages there for you as well. So for the overall energy, we have the Seven of Cups, the Moon, the Page of Cups, and the Two of Wands, and the Four of Wands. So the overall energy here for the end of the year for Aquarius masculine energy is really very much being in a state of confusion, and specifically around love, one's emotions. And the masculine is really looking at his demons. He's really facing his shadow self, his dark side. And the key to this really is the knowledge and acceptance of that, and bringing the darkness into one's awareness. And this is really the theme that the Aquarius masculine is working on at this time, or needs to. This is the overall message. And it's specifically around partnership, relationships, emotions with the feminine. And, you know, pages are very much at the beginning of a journey. So he's really setting out, determined to look at his darker side, look at his inner demons, to do the necessary shadow work and healing required to start this path of learning how to manage himself in love and relationships, how to manage his emotions and become a whole person, and enter a relationship as two equal whole people, as opposed to what he's experienced in the past. And he's now understanding that that is the only way forward for him at this time, if he is to achieve this new foundation, this new partnership that he dreams of with his divine feminine. So achieving balance in love and relationships, facing one's shadow, is the overall theme for Aquarius masculines leading to the end of the year. So the first three cards are very similar to the feminine's reading, with the Page of Wands and the energy to let go, and the Wheel of Fortune in the energy to embrace. So this is really talking about the beginning of a new cycle and the ending of an old one, to do specifically with his purpose in life, how his passions have been expressed in the physical realm, how his purpose is mirrored in the work that he does, and very much wanting that to have an impact on others, and very aware and sensitive to the impact his work has on other people and the environment that he's in, and the environment generally. So there's really a sense that with the energy yet to come of this new beginning, this new path, that is very connected to the work, that shadow work, that looking inwards that he's doing. And in the overall environment, we have the King of Wands. So interestingly, we have the Queen of Wands for the feminine. So the Queen of Wands is really about mastering one's purpose, one's passion from within, and the King is really from without. It's very much about an external expression of what he is holding within, what one is holding within, and expressing that externally. How is he expressing his passion, his purpose in the external world? And this is now needed to show a certain sense of vulnerability. He's really understanding that part of his path is to learn that he is also able to be vulnerable about his emotions, to be more open in expressing them to others, to show that he has that vulnerable side, and understanding that there is strength in that. And when he does have this breakthrough, this insight, there really is this sense, you know, in this card specifically, the Eight of Discs, it's about working really hard on oneself and reaping the rewards of that. And here we have the lion and the lamb. So this is really about looking inwards into one's inner darkness and the work that he's putting into that, and reaping the rewards of that. He is seeing the rewards of that. And the Eight of Wands as the overall lesson really shows the masculine in this, the vulnerability and the strength, and traditionally Eight of Wands is this fast movement forward. And so there's this sense of self-realization when he's able to break through his shadow self. And interestingly, we have 3 8s here, and the only 8 missing is the 8 of Swords, which is what appeared in the Divine Feminine's reading for Aquarius. So you know, the Swords is about the mind, one's thoughts. So there is a sense that the masculine has actually mastered that aspect of himself, you know, his limiting beliefs, not allowing himself to be a prisoner of his own mind. And at the moment, it's really more about expressing his emotions and his passions out in the external, in the physical world. And the 8 is obviously related to strength, the Leo card. It's all about mastering oneself through an expression of loving oneself, mastering self-love. And that's really the path that Aquarius is on towards the end of the year, completing the year. So I'm going to pull some clarifiers now to go a little bit deeper and see if there are any other messages that want to come through. Interesting. Definitely have some love energy coming in here. Union, powerful. Wow. So interesting. So at the bottom of the deck we have, for the clarifiers, Medicine Woman, which is the High Priestess, which came out in the Feminine's card reading, and the Knight of Pentacles. So there really is this steady movement forward, meeting the feminine as an equal, moving forward in a slow, steady way, being the reliable person that she needs when he's able to complete these lessons and step into his wholeness. And so I'm seeing that it's really about taking action on this new path where he's able to overcome things that are confusing him at this time around his emotions, confusing the relationships that he's experienced. And really the fact that this battle isn't over, there really is a strong message here of integration, integrating his masculine and feminine aspects of himself, perhaps making a decision between two people, but because this lover card is repeated here in this limited edition deck, this card really for me is a twin flame card, and together with the temperance in the environment and the Two of Swords, there is a really strong message here of making a decision potentially in with regards to a relationship, or for me this really is coming into balance, these two aspects of himself, both negative and positive aspects that he views, you know, facing the darkness and embracing that as an, you know, important aspect of himself, and then being able to come together with his divine counterpart as two whole equal people. Beautiful. So I really do feel here that Two of Cups, the Soulmate card, there is a sense that this is as a result of looking at his shadow, looking at his vulnerability, being able to be vulnerable, being able to be strong in his vulnerability. This is really going to bring in his divine counterpart. This is just beautiful. I mean, you've literally got them all here. There's just absolutely no question that this wholeness is leading to a new beginning, specifically in love and relationships, where the masculine is able to step forward on a new path and offer this gift of love to another when he's able to shed his former self, aspects of himself that are no longer serving him, aspects of being in relationship, or not being able to express himself emotionally. And this beautiful, beautiful energy of union within himself and with another, when he allows that to happen. Just beautiful reading, Virgo. Apologies, interesting. Potentially could be a Virgo for some of you. A message there. Aquarian masculines, I'm going to pull out a final card for you as a guidance for the overall message for this reading. Card that wants to come out. Abundance. I mean, that is certain. Aquarius. Men. Beautiful. So the abundance card relates to the King of Rainbows in this deck, which is the King of Pentacles. So mastering himself in the physical world is where Aquarian masculine is at. In the East, people have condemned the body, condemned matter. They called matter illusory, Maya. It does not really exist. It only appears to exist. It is made of the same stuff as dreams are made of. They denied the world, and that is the reason for the East remaining poor, sick, and starvation. Half of humanity has been accepting the inner world but denying the outer world. The other half of humanity has been accepting the material and denying the inner. Both are half, and no man who is half can be contented. You have to be whole, rich in the body, rich in science, rich in meditation, in consciousness. Only a whole person is a holy person, according to me. I want Zorba the Buddha to meet Zorba alone is hollow. I want Zorba and Buddha to meet. Zorba alone is hollow. His dance has not an eternal significance. It is momentary pleasure. Soon he will be tired of it. Unless you have inexhaustible resources available to you from the cosmos itself, unless you become existential, you cannot become whole. This is my contribution to humanity, the whole person. This Dionysian character is the very picture of a whole man, a Zorba the Buddha, who can drink wine, dance on the beach and sing in the rain, and at the same time enjoy the depths of understanding and wisdom that belong to the sage. In one hand he holds a lotus, showing that he respects and contains with himself the grace of the feminine. His exposed chest and open heart and relaxed belly show that he's at home with his masculinity as well, utterly self-contained. The four elements of earth, fire, water, and sky all conjunct at the King of Rainbows, who sit atop the book of the wisdom of life. If you are a woman, the King of Rainbows brings the support of your own male energies into your life, a union with the soulmate within. For a man, this card represents a time of breaking through the conventional male stereotypes and allowing the fullness of the whole human being to shine forth. Wow. Aquarius, this really feels like a very collective message for both the masculine and feminine Aquarian reading, which is not really a surprise with the North Node in Aquarius at the moment. This, is definitely a message here for the masculine collective as a whole, that the Aquarian male, divine masculine, is really pushing through, birthing at this time, to create the Four of Wands, to create union. Interesting. Death once again. So really this death of the shedding of his old self, his old way of relating and being in relationships, and being able to express love, divine love, unconditional love, as two whole integrated people coming together, where the masculine has healed his wounds and has really integrated his shadow self and is able to be courageous in his vulnerability, and understand that there's strength in that, and harnessing and bringing together these two aspects of himself. That is really this harmony and balance that is the message for the masculines and the feminines to come together in this union, which I hope is also in your own physical experiences. Divine masculines, at least for some of you, this seems to be the case. Wishing you so much love for the end of the year, and until the next time.